Like, offense is the best defense. And, you know, with the return of Coach Bonchen, the return of Estes is here.
Of course. It's gotta be, right? Who else to debut Estes in Season 12 than Blacklist International?
It may not be the Queen, but it's still Blacklist, and it's still their Estes. Looking at the draft index right now, look at the ISO, the late game, the burst, team fighting, early to mid. We talked about it. It's not a laning lineup, it's a fighting lineup for Echo.
Right.
Oh,
Blacklist, they're a fighting lineup, but they're more, will fight together.
Yeah, and looking at the audience predictions, looks like Echo does hold a slight lead over Blacklist International. That's 10%, but you too could predict inside your home. So watch out for the smart power prediction. At some point in the game, a poll will show up. You only have until the timer runs out to comment your predictions with hashtag SmartPowersMPLS12.
One lucky commenter who guesses correctly will win a redeemable in-game code. Remember, keep an eye out for the poll.
Oh man, first game of the first series of week number 4. It's time to see if this Blacklist International iteration could take one Echo down in this game number 1.
Echo, you need to play fast. But then every time you get a kill, you're gonna need to convert it. It can't just be kills for the sake of kills. You need to get a kill, get something from the opposing jungle, break down a tower.
And I guess that's the code to break for Blacklist International right now. JP, quite aware of the damage they might suffer under Dominic here, so they do escape. Still a huge rotation coming in from Blacklist International early on in this game.
Here we go. Sanji knocks up 2. Yue just barely misses by an inch, and Sanford obliges looking for one more. Punches away. Misses a little wonder.
Wow, you see there. Oh, by the way, great pickup there from Kim Boy onto the Purify. He's going to need that. He knows that he cannot get picked off here by this lineup of Echo. Who'll gain more gold in this game, Ben Cutie or Owl?
Yeah, and I do think that if you already commented your guesses, you could win our redeemable prizes. But right now, Echo, they do, this is still a very slow game. Nothing, no deaths, no conversions so far, but a lot of skills getting expended.
Takes a lot of discipline to play this way, especially with a lineup like this. Look at Echo, man. How much quantum charge you want? Yes.
Yes. 4 quantum charges and 1 lethal ignition. If you could build the Kadita with a quantum charge, they would probably do it too, but you know, that doesn't really fit well with playstyle.
Yeah, and you see Echo here actually, or Blacklist rather, going with, speaking of playstyle, what playstyle they're known for. It's a 3-man rotation around the mid, around the river area, while you see JP and Carl TZ going around a little bit more together. Sanji, of course, as a Kadita, will be stuck in the mid a little bit more, going around a little bit later than compared to the Blacklist mid laner. First turtle's up.
Yeah, first turtle already started here by Blacklist International. Dominic right in front of 3 people, and Carl TZ in prime location for a steal.
Quick knock-up here, and Dominic still survives. Stolen away heavy spin by Yue, and Carl TZ answers back. Rindo in the middle of all of it. Dominic drawn on first blood, and Rindo falls. 2K for Sanji, and Echo now going to convert into the turtle.
And
2
this is
minutes and a half in!
Man, this is so good for Echo. Sanji already with 2 kills.
Yep.
This is the worst guy to give kills to in the early game.
And that's exactly what we were talking about. When you draft a Kadita against a team that's making their debut, you're testing them. How good are their tracking of their abilities? How well are they going to be able to avoid what the Kadita can bring to the table? And in that scenario, Blacklist couldn't. Sanji showing why he is feared as this Kadita.
And you know, Sanji practically is, there are rumors and whispers all around the community that they're saying Sanji is the best mid laner right now. Is he the best? Well,
Those are the whispers. I can hear
what
the
are the
whispers
whispers?
too.
Sanji's in the prime era. And honestly, I do feel like that he's reaching that point and is currently one of the best mid laners in the country.
Yeah, no, he's leveraging his mechanics so well. Did you see his emblem build? Homie, put yourself together.
Yep.
So he wants to press Petrify more often than not.
Yeah, and it just goes to show how much Echo are really thinking about their early game here, playing fast. They have a good amount of ruptures as well, but I like that they've also put some firmness on a few heroes because they know that there will be scenarios where an Estes heal will just make the fight a little bit longer, and that little bit of defense is going to come a long way.
Yeah, and looking at the trivias here, coming in from Rindo, he is quite good in securing objectives.
Oh!
MTL, but a 2v1.
Penalty zone. used by Dominic defensively, pushing away Sanji and Sanford. Now Sanji still might want to finish the job, and Dominic survives, but just for now.
Yeah, and down bottom lane, short fight here, already negated by the heal coming in from Mplph. Blacklist International trailing by 1.5k here. I do think Echo does have a better turtle fight on the upcoming turtle.
And it's wild to me because Carl TZ still has that turtle shield, man. It's not gone from him, it's just on him constantly.
Max duration.
Yeah.
It means he hasn't taken any damage to have it expire now. Sanford and JP bothering Rindo, making Blacklist International's new jungler actually take too much time.
Oh, no.
Who stole it? Rindo still got it, but he spent his retribution.
Yeah, and then that means this might just be a free turtle for Echo down bottom lane,
Oh!
and he still dies.
Oh.
Echo!
Off camera, Body Hunter, Sanford. And just like that, Echo are winning top and bottom, coast to coast.
Oh, Carl TZ didn't even need to expand his retribution there, so now they can invade the purple buff. And let's see, Blacklist International will be able to defend this. That was just pure cross-map aggression by Echo. No other way to put it than, lads, it's Echo.
Oh,
Yeah,
they're still
and-
going. Dominic spends the penalty zone. Sanford able to weave right through, and to no avail. It's a difficult time to be Blacklist.
A warm welcome coming in from Echo, just making sure that their presence is felt. Kadida using his ultimate as well. Rough Waves is now not available, but does send Yui back home.
And Cartesi finds the headbutt. Mplph still does have his ult, still has the Purify. Here comes JP, coming in, and Mplph still alive, but just barely. And Cartesi finish, and Guiding wins out.
Wow. Great understanding there of the guiding wind of a Matilda. Good news for Blacklist International is that oh wait a minute!
All right, Purify spent over by Owl, and he's fine. If he did not have that little blue-green button, then it's over.
And looking
not blue.
towards the late game, I do feel like early to mid is surely going to the hands of Echo if they don't commit a lot of errors here. Do we actually have some sort of late game insurance for Blacklist?
Well, yeah, it's the Bruno, but then how well they can and how long they can hold the formation for just out the free hit is going to be the biggest question, because then the pressure will really just be on Rindo, Dominic, even Yue to disrupt the team fighting there of Echo for just a little bit. Already a Radiant Armor was actually the first built item here for Carl TZ, considering the damage that can be dished out multiple times from an Estes mainly. That's one thing that I've been surprised about, that people have admitted in the past that sometimes the damage of the Estes can actually be quite annoying. That enhanced basic attack after he gets those max stacks.
Yeah, plus the damage coming in from his slow as well.
Yeah,
It's
amazing.
actually quite annoying if you stack it with no way.
Carl TZ!
GDP.
Dear Lord, right in Rindo's face, but this does put Echo in an odd position because they don't have a retribution once Turtle spawns.
Oh,
right
Sanford!
now, back line, Sanford coming in, Mplph pops his ult. Gets on out of here, Sanford survives for now. You're gonna seal away this little camp and start up the Turtle.
Yeah, no Blessing of the Moon Goddess available for Blacklist, and Retribution will be up in 10 seconds, so I do feel like Echo will be safely securing this third turtle of the game.
Now, what we're going to watch out for here is that with any lineup that has an Estes and a good enough marksman as well, a Valentina, even in this scenario with the Martes, it's going to get to a point where suddenly Echo is going to be fighting. We're going to see the same thing we've been seeing for quite some time, but then Blacklist may survive it. They'll heal through it. Suddenly, there's members of Echo running away from Blacklist. They've all tethered up with the Blessing of the Moon Goddess. So that's one thing that Echo's watching out for. But as long as they keep this pace, as long as they keep taking resources and getting kills, it's not going to get to the point Echo's going to be delaying that timer for Blacklist.
And the counterpunch coming in from this type of composition is something that we're waiting for. And now it's Ube time here, down bottom lane. JP with the ultimate, but they're getting poked down. And I do think that's a win for Echo still, because top lane is destroyed.
No doubt. That's what I was about to say, man. We haven't really even seen Benny Cutie be part of this whole equation 8 minutes into the match. He hasn't really joined any team fights in a major way, and this is how he's becoming an impactful member of Echo. Sanji, come on. Sanji, you don't do that. Oh, that's how far ahead Echo is, by the way.
Sanji's just saying hello.
Just sits in a bush and says, "Hi, Dominic, how are you?"
Say hello to my what's the little friend. No, that's a bad.
That was great. No. You know what? Gotta build yourself up, man. That was great.
No.
It was a great movie.
I didn't even watch it. That's why I couldn't pull it off, dude.
Do you know the title of the movie?
No, I'm sorry, but
Versace!
Versace's not sorry.
Dear Lord. Lord. Kimpoy spent all and everything. Didn't even get to use his ult. Now here comes Carl Easy with a heavy spin, isolating Dominic, and he gets in the flicker. Body of Smith able to keep him alive, but for so long. Penalty zone right into his death. Sanji serves him up, and all members of Echo still alive. Carl Easy barely holding on, but the tier 1 in mid stands.
That at least that's a good defense coming in from Blacklist, but it did suffer major losses from their hero pool, and now JP's just faking it. You know, that's the power of the new Mathilda.
Oh, Sanji. There goes the TPs, and yeah, as you mentioned, that's how far ahead Echo are. And I just want to say, Sanford's been a monster on this Paquito this entire game. He's making the most out of every combo. It's damaging, it's clearing waves, and most importantly, it's throwing Blacklist off their game with all the controls.
Easy Lord here for Echo, because again, Blacklist can't really rotate. Blacklist can't even leave half of their jungle. They can even cross over. And it's been since last week that Sanford's been playing Paquito, man. This is his new favorite hero.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Sanford or the Sanford Paquito or the Yuzhong. There are a lot of XP laners right now, right into the wheelhouse of the hero pool of Sanford, historically speaking.
Gentlemen, you see that? Right in Rindo's face. Grand Theft Purple, and Rindo spent his retribution.
All I can say right now is what Zuko told Sako, and Sako was telling him the story of Yue. That's rough, buddy. Echo, at this point, they just have to keep this up. They cannot slip, they cannot overdive, they cannot overcommit.
Is that from Adventure Time?
Not sure, maybe.
It's Avatar time.
Oh, Avatar time. Yeah. I remember that. It comes after Ben
Thinks.
Ben Thinks, yeah. Ben Thinks.
Oh, wow. Echo just coming in with impunity. Not a single... In comes Carl Easy, heavy spin on heavy spin. Yue obliges pushing them out. I think he won that Beyblade match. And right now, JP looking for one. Spent his Circling Eagle already. All ult spent by Echo, and Blacklist stand tall, at least for now, defending their base. Inhibitor still standing, and now top lane Inhibitor up on the docket. Can they get it down? One more. They don't get it.
They don't get it. That was a successful defense coming in from Blacklist, and they were able to poke down Echo for quite a bit. But then again, this is turning to quite the gold lead on the side of the Orcas. A 9K gold lead 11 minutes in is not a joke, and Blacklist International has a very, very deep hole to dig out of to.
Yep, it's massive. It's huge. Looking at the items of the marksman, already up to the Windtalker is the Bruno, but you see Benny Cutie, he's already trying to build up to his final item there. So that just tells the entire story of the game. The good news here for Blacklist, though, is that they have a great lineup for holding. You see that Yue is actually using the heavy spin defensively to stop any attempts, but with that tower just a tickle away, JP just said, yeah, I'm taking this down.
He decided to breathe on it.
Yeah.
Just breathes on it, and Mathilda, ladies and gentlemen, one of the best supports.
The best.
The best.
Literally the best.
I'm sorry.
Omer right now.
She is the best, man.
No way. Like, we already live in this meta where the Mathilda just overpowers and just is the queen of utility and aggression right now.
Fair to say we haven't seen her for, what, 6 to 9 months?
Yeah.
In any significant way. So this is a long time coming. So Moonton really did some work. Echoes, Sanford here going to be stealing away the orange. Serve it up to Carl Easy, will ya? And what's next here? I think they're just biding their time for the next Lord here.
Definitely. And this is going to be a Luminous Lord. And if Echo will be able to secure this one, they could potentially end the game. But Blacklist International, I don't even think they have the firepower to contest this. Like, they have a sustained lineup. They could try to just live around the corner, but that's too risky.
I concur. If anything, the damage has to safely come from Owl. And then Yue, forget about it. He has to be in mid-range. And at mid-range, against Echo at this point, when they're up 12K, dear Lord, 13K. Quick Lord take, by the way. Forget about it. He's going to die.
On average, that's 1,000 gold a minute.
How do you even do that?
Because it's 13 minutes, it's like 13K. Oh, you meant...
Yeah, the 13K goldie. We can't even do that in our ranked games, and Echo's doing it in pro.
Yeah, when I see it in ranked, I'm the victim of it.
Oh, dear Lord, look
I
at
feel
this.
for you.
See, look at how ahead Echo is. They're able to weave in and out, even underneath inhibitors. And we could have seen a better orchestrated push. The waves could have come in, but this is to the benefit of Blacklist, as they'll make quick work of the Lord. Still inside their base, nothing to crash onto. Blacklist doing fine.
And they still have 2 waves of Mega Minions in the mid and bot. Top lane about to come in, but
Whoa.
JP goes in with a Circling Eagle.
Jukes into the back, tries to find Owl, kicked right out of the base, and just like that, Blacklist says, "You shall not pass."
And they're still trying to defend. Bot lane this time, they only take down 1 inhibitor turret.
Oh.
I gotta say, that's quite impressive against a 13k gold lead.
Right?
It is incredibly impressive, and we're also seeing here the genius of Bonchan, admittedly, because now, we've said it earlier, and we're still seeing it, this lineup of Blacklist International can hold so well. Because you have a Kadita, this is one of the most difficult things about having a Kadita going up against a lineup like this. It's so risky to even try to end the game with your combo, considering that your main targets here both have Purifies. At this point, Sanji's gonna have to wait for someone else to set up for him before he goes in, or he goes in, Petrify, force the Purify out, and then he'll go for a late ultimate.
And that's the dilemma that Yue has, at least for the past 5-6 minutes. It's because that's why he always tries to steal heavy spin.
Yes.
At this point, now Sanji, after he's done recalling, as you can see with Stanford, he has to deal with that. He has to make the decision. All right, can JP find Owl? Can they even burst Yue before they get the steal? They're not going to stop.
Yeah,
are
someone
they?
make fanfiction of that.
Yeah.
They're having
Paquito Kadita.
They're having conversation.
Yeah.
They're having a conversation, you know. They're trying to count who recalls faster. And Blacklist International, they really can't do anything about it. All of the waves are frozen just in time for the 42nd Lord to come in and Echo in perfect control of the game. This is their game to lose. If they lose a big team fight or make a crucial error, Blacklist could turn this around.
Marcus, Theo, you mentioned 2 very important words. Perfect control. It's a perfect game for Echo, not a single turret, not a single major objective taken away, and also control. Echo can in any time collapse, but they're saying no, we'll take our time here.
Yeah, they have to, because you can see they're on a very good sequence. Owl is doing a lot of damage to JP every time he'd go in and try to find this Bruno. 3 to 4 hits and he'll already be at the brink of going down. And Echo knows this. And it's like you can, besides, one thing, when you're here in the studio, there's a lot of things you can hear grinding. 1, Midnight's gears. 2, I think I can hear Echo's gears grinding right now thinking, okay, how do we do this? How do we end this? Because if we try to dive all in onto their base turret, they have an Estes, they have an Akai heavy spin, it's difficult.
Yeah.
Something tells me they're maybe 2 team fights away from frustration.
Yeah.
If 2 team fights don't work out their way, then yeah, you're going to start to see them get grinding.
Yeah, they'll have to Hail Mary at that point.
Yeah. And it's quite interesting to see if Blacklist International, as you said, a 15k gold lead. This is perhaps one of the biggest gold leads that I've ever seen in MPL history.
Huge.
It's quite huge. If Blacklist International turns this around and secures the game, this is the biggest comeback in the regular season.
That's right.
By a debuting team.
It's
That's like 2 records in 1, bro.
it's tough on this day too.
On this day.
Let's see.
You know? It's 3.
Let's see if they'll pull it off. I've seen this happen in my ranked games. I was the Kadita. It wasn't fun. It hurt.
Oh man, hopefully Blacklist International does find a way to extend this, but if you're Echo, you would want to end it now.
Damage.
Oh, JP now here, and there's the Circling Eagle, tries to find Owl. He purifies on now. Yue with a heavy spin of his own. Oh! Dominic hitting 4. Now Benecuti. Nature. Down goes Owl. All 5 members of Echo still here, plus the Lord. 4 defenders from Blacklist. Kimpoy spent his ult already. There's another Circling Eagle knocking them up. 4 up. And Dominic with the body of Smith and the heals from Kimpoy still keeping him up.
Blessing of Nibble Goddess.
Oh, here it is. Off cooldown
Can
one
they
more
end
time. It's over. They got overloaded. Echo takes game 1.
And that winning moment is brought to you by your official sponsor, FWD Life Insurance. That almost was a great defense, but a crucial play from Carl TC.